Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to another week. I hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, it's a brand new week, and we are here again to see what we can discover in price. Okay, so starting with the dollar index. Starting with the dollar index, we've seen a big move on a Monday to close in this imbalance, and we've closed through the volume imbalance over here. So what can we expect going forward? We can anticipate price actually going higher, because I think based on the May usually sees higher prices on the dollar index, right? And we've seen a confirmation with that big rally that happened today. So we're gonna be anticipating a continuation to that side. Let's go to the monthly chart. Okay, so that level has been touched, so we might be moving towards the next upside objective. All right, so on the weekly we have this fair value gap that is currently being traded through. So let's see if we can close through it for the week. If we close through it for the week, then we will likely trade to the next one. Okay, so if we can close through this for the week, then we can trade to the next one, which is up here. Ultimately, I think we might be coming somewhere up here. That's what I think we might come to, and then continue probably going down or go above this high. It depends what price is going to do when we get there. So for the month of May, we will continue going up, probably to get up here. Maybe not the whole month, but this high is also likely going to be taken. Then we will anticipate maybe a rejection to come back down. Now this week we have an up candle. So far we've not actually closed yet, but looking at how the daily is closing with conviction, right? It's convicted that it's gonna continue. Probably we've not closed yet, but based on the move till now, I think that could be the case. On the H4 we can use this down candle, the volume imbalance, as a resistance area where if price straight through it, then we will go lower. So with that said, you're gonna be anticipating them going higher. All right, so the next upside objective for Dixie is 103.21, and then 103.21, 3.53. That will be the next upside objective. Okay, now that does not mean it's gonna go up there in a straight line. Maybe it might pause, it might pull back, but whatever happens, you're gonna be anticipating a continuation to the upside. Now, based on the economic calendar, because sometimes price will be obviously moved based on what the economic calendar is saying. All right, and on Tuesday we do have CPI at 1:30, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow will also be a big move for the dollar index, and I'm anticipating a continuation to the upside. So let's see what will come. On Thursday we also have another retail sales called PPI, PPI, retail sales, and then the Fed chairman speaking. So a lot of high impact news this week, which is good. We love that, for them to use it as a, ICT calls it the smoke screen, you know, to make people think price is moving because of that, but it's not. Okay, so dollar index, we are expecting higher prices. Euro will translate to lower prices. I think similar to the dollar index, they are trading through that euro fair value gap. Last week was a very nice rejection off from this H for auto block, and then price closed bearish and we open with gap down, pull back, and then I like this type of setups. ICT calls it catapult, when price gap in the direction of where price is going, when the market opens, pulls back, and then shoots away. I didn't see it. I saw the gap down at the market opening, and then I went to sleep, woke up, and price was down. So that was a good thing. Okay, British pound, nice trade over the course of the week as well. Friday price pulled back into, now maybe in future we will dive deep into it. Nice fair value gap. What time of the day? New York session, and then we gap down. London, we shoots down. Okay, so we expect a continuation to the downside. I think this would not be a bad area to expect a continuation to the downside. Let's check on the weekly where we are going to go next. Okay, so based on this, I think we've traded to the weekly high. We have a daily fair value gap over here. We have a bearish, a bullish break over here. So I like this right here. Okay, I like that area. We might drop down to that level. And I like the fact that we have an up candle right here. That's a good thing. That will serve as a protection for price going higher. So this New York session, selling this auto block and then targeting that would not be a bad idea. Oops. Okay, if it stops out, it might just take out the high, dip into this, and then continue going lower. So you can look for continuation to the downside. Now, apart from that, we also had the Aussie still holding that range. New Zealand also still holding. We just went below that weekly low, but that is due to them moving the crosses. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, I think personally, don't trade the Australian dollar, don't trade the New Zealand dollar, but rather trade the crosses. Friday, if you were here, right, I gave this as a trade idea, and you can see how nice price did over here. I actually sold twice. Okay, I sold twice. When price came there, I placed the sell limit, and then we broke down, and then right in here on the 5-minute chart, I sold again right in here. Okay, New York session fair value gap, sold again, and then I left it, and then when the market opened, it actually gapped through my take profit. Okay, it gapped through my my take profit, so that was nice. And with that, I think this pair is likely going to continue in that direction. We might trade today's candles high next. This candles high. So this fair value gap can be used as a trade entry and send price lower. That would be your first target, and then leave something on for continuation to the downside. I like the Euro Aussie because the New Zealand is weaker than the Aussie. So this would be a first target, which is 1.72948. Then the rest you let it go. Maybe 1.70508. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only trade that I like. Pound Aussie. Let me see, Pound Aussie. Okay, Pound Aussie is not bad either. We have these relative equal lows just sitting there casually. We are trading back to this order block in London. So shorting this and then targeting here wouldn't be bad at all. Okay, so that's another potential setup for this New York session. So yeah, maybe choose between the, let me see what the Euro pound is doing. Okay, so we will continue going lower. So Euro Aussie will be the best. Euro Aussie is the best one, but you choose. Okay, I'm not gonna choose for you between Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie. You choose which one you prefer, and then trade that. Okay, dollar yen, we've screamed so much high that I think we are aiming for this equal high. Okay, it's aiming for that equal high, so I'll see if I can find an entry for you all. But if you see any drop, any pullback, then you look for continuation to the upside. Their target is 151.32. 151.32. That's your upside objective. Gold. So gold, this has surprised me, but again, I won't be surprised with anything, because not until they break above the up candle, price will likely continue going lower. Okay, I wanted to see them break that, and then you look for continuation to the upside, but as it stands, it looks like they might come for the weekly gap. Okay, so let's go back to the weekly again, but I will anticipate them probably rejecting immediately, so watch that, because they didn't trade to it last week. So in my opinion, that was that was engineered liquidity, that they've engineered it. So price is gonna come to 3208.3, then after that we might reject and then go up. So this week, watch potential rejection below that equal low into this auto block here. Okay, because on the monthly we closed above previous month high, so this is kind of forming the low of the month, and the low of the month usually forms within the fair value gap, hence this gap here. Right, and it starts from that level 3208.3. we want price to dip in there and then continue going higher. So look for continuation to the upside after they take out that low. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me also set my sell limit on the trade. Okay, let's continue. Crude oil. So crude oil has traded through that volume imbalance, so I think it's gonna go for this high, and I will see how we trade after we get above the high, as this has now engineered equal low, so I'm not quite sure whether they will come back for it or not. It will depend on how we will trade above 64.89. so anticipate price going for 64.89, which is this equal high, this high and that high. Okay, and then once we get there, we will see how price is gonna move after we've traded above that high. Hence, if you want to go in, you're more than welcome. Wait for New York session and then find an entry to trace towards 64.89. okay, 64.89. that's where we think price is going. All right, let's continue. Yes, so another beautiful trade that I actually took this on a different account, not on a demo account, but on a different account. When price got here, I got long. As a matter of fact, I got in this one upon the pullback, and I didn't close it. I left it, and that's what happened. I didn't take another entry. I took the entry when we went up. So the one that I took here on Thursday, it was closed, right? I think I shared that with you all, but I took a different one on my different account that I trade, and I didn't take profit because my profit was above this high. Okay, so let's go to the monthly. I was aiming for that previous month high, as I indicated. So because price didn't get there, I left it over the weekend, and then I was risky, but it was worth it. Price has now screamed above it. Now it depends on what price is gonna do now that we are above it. We need a rejection before we can resume going lower. So my upside objective is done, because all that I was aiming for was the previous month low. Previous month high. We are likely going to reject because we have a fair value gap here, and within that we also have this wick, and we have this breaker. So we might reject and then come back down, or price might reject and come back down. On the daily time frame, this is your first area of distribution. So if we put the high to the low, right, 79 retracement level, that's where price might trade to, and then we start going lower. So watch out for a potential continuation to the downside, a rejection. Now it doesn't mean go in and sell short here and hold it. No, it means just be patient, let price get there, give you a rejection, and then you start looking for the entry, right? Because you cannot stop it from going higher, but you can only anticipate them giving you a confirmation that they are going lower, and then you go lower with it. Okay, so be patient with it, let them give you a rejection, and then you can take a trade. So that is that for the currencies. So just to repeat, because when I finish in cryptos, I'm done, and I'm gonna do something else. I have some stuff that I need to take care of. So I was saying that the trade for the day is this pair, for those of you that came in late, to sell short to continue going down, which is Euro Aussie and or Pound Aussie. Okay, Pound is also not bad. But I prefer the Euro Aussie and Pound Aussie. You can also add Pound to it, or any of the three. You're more than welcome. All right. Okay. Let's go to cryptos, starting with that row. So as we predicted, they've come for the high, the previous week high, right? So with this energetic move, we will make our way for the previous month high. So 0.003071, that is the next upside objective for Tatsuo on the monthly time frame. That's the previous month high. So that's where we're gonna go going forward, and it'd be nice to see this week close bullish. That will send a springboard, like a big candle towards that level. Tatsuki, I think last week Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday, I gave you something as in regards to this candle, that when we form this candle, this is a clear sign of a potential rejection or reversal, and I gave you the target up here, 0.00002,714, and that is where price is going. So watch out for a continuation to that level. XRP, same thing. We've got a big move. Last week closed bullish. We've got a big move. So that monthly high gone. Now we're going to be aiming for that next one up there. It comes in at 29989. Okay, so 29989, that's the next draw on liquidity on the XRP. First, if you are in, look for the 26470 as a draw on liquidity. Then once we get beyond that, then you can look for the 29989 as the upside objective. Okay, so today closure, we have a down candle. That down candle took our previous day's low, perfect for a support to continue going higher. Hype, we are looking for a continuation. I think this is a nice retracement into the fair value gap to now expand up again. So anticipate another big up candle, aiming for this equal high. Okay, so hype, within the last 1 month, we've moved from 9 to 26. That's impressive. Ethereum, they've exceeded expectation. So let's go to the, let me see on the monthly. Yeah, they've exceeded expectation. We've gone up too quick in a short period of time, but it's a good thing, because this is actually is drawing a lot of interest in the market. All right, and with that, we are likely going to be trading within this range. So the next upside objective is the 50% range, equilibrium, 2748.72. That's the next upside objective. Okay, so 2748.72, next upside objective. Once we trade beyond that, then we will be aiming for this down candle. Okay, we'll be aiming for that, but let them get up here first. So watch out for 2784.72 as a next upside objective. Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is kind of paused, not moving, but it will make all-time highs again, and we will be going for the levels that are indicated. I think we will be going for those levels, the 144, let me project them again. $144,252. That will be the ultimate. Okay, let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. So 118,935. That's a good level to anticipate the first objective. Then 130931 will be another objective. These are two most probable because they might reaccumulate again. Let me check. One, two, yeah. They might reaccumulate one more time. Then maybe a bigger drop to rebalance everything, and then we continue going high again. So once we get to 130929, we might pause and then one more scream to that 2%, which is 144, then a big drop. That drop will probably scare everybody out of this market. But anyway, let's not get too much ahead of ourselves. So yeah, 118935. Watch for that. Solana, I think they've gone for that equal high, or almost there. Let's see the weekly. We do have this down candle here acting as a breaker, so there might be a little bit of struggle for price to push higher. There might be a little bit of a problem for price to push higher, hence we might pause above that up candle. We might pause, or we might print like a down candle similar to this right here. So maybe Solana might pause and not continue up. Yeah, that's what I think might happen. They might pause in here and then wait, reaccumulate one more, and then we push to this. So if Bitcoin continues going up, this will be our draw on liquidity. Then finally, AX16Z, you can see prices struggling inside that area, right? Because that's what basically will happen. Similar to Ethereum, right? We struggled in there, and then poof. That's what I'm seeing happening on this. And like I said, 1.3068, that's our next. Once we breach this, that will be our next upside objective, and that will be fantastic. I can't wait. If we break through that, there's nothing. Okay, everything else will be imbalances that will be rebalanced. Okay, though yes, we have something here, but that will be a rebalance. This is the level that initiated the move down. Okay, so once we breach it, then price is gonna continue going that way. Okay, so fingers crossed. We want Ethereum type of candle, that big one. That's a huge candle. we want that on AI16Z. So if we get something like that, that will bring us, let me go and right, that will bring us roughly about 0.7354. That'd be very, very good, right? So let's see, fingers crossed, AI16Z, let's go. And that will be good, because I know a couple of friends that are actually long, and once we breach 45, they will start smiling. And if you are listening, you need to come and pay your tithe. Because you need to pay your tithe. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go back and check these pairs one more time. The pound Aussie, the euro Aussie. We've got about 20 minutes to go before New York session starts. So anticipate it during the New York, not now. Okay, everything is time and price. So price is now there. Now we are waiting for time. The time is from 2 p.m. going between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. It's actually between 1:30 and 4, but this time 2, because they've not started moving. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you same time tomorrow. Peace.